The ghost who fed the village. Agbado was a peaceful village surrounded by hills and thick forest. The people were hardworking, mostly farmers and hunters, and they shared strong cultural beliefs and traditions. But all of that began to change when the ghost arrived. It started slowly. A goat missing here, a pot of yam vanishing there. At first, the villagers blamed each other. Old women whispered that it might be the work of witches. Some young men claimed it was ordinary thieves. But no one could explain how the thefts happened without leaving footprints or traces. Then came the real terror. One night, Bobatond, the village palm wine tapper, claimed he saw a tall, shadowy figure near his barn. He tried to follow it quietly, hoping to catch the thief red-handed. That was the last anyone ever saw of Bobatond. The next morning, a pot of steaming egusi soup was served to villagers who came to the palace square for the weekly meeting. It was unusually delicious, thick with meat. The chief, his elders, and even the women who usually served food commented on how rich the meal tasted. No one suspected anything. Until someone found Bobatond's cutlass in the forest behind his hut, covered in blood. After Bobatond's disappearance, fear grew. Then 2 more people vanished, Mama Kekeli, the okra seller, and Yo the drummer. Each time, their homes were untouched, their belongings left behind. The only thing gone was the person, and their absence was quickly followed by a mysterious feast in the palace square. What chilled the villagers even more was how these ghost meals always came after someone went missing. "It's a ghost," the old women would whisper. "A spirit who walks like a man and feeds on flesh." Why would a ghost steal food and kill people? The chief's advisor asked during one council meeting. "Perhaps it wants to punish us. Or maybe it's not a ghost at all, but something worse," someone suggested. Still, no one could see the thief. Even the brave hunters who stayed awake all night with guns and fire saw nothing but darkness and cold breeze. The chief ordered spiritual cleansings, hired native doctors, and even brought in a pastor from the next town. All of them tried and failed. The ghost was too smart, too quiet, and always vanished without a trace. That was when Ino returned. She was the chief's only daughter, brilliant, curious, and stubborn. Years ago, she had left for university in the city, refusing to follow the village tradition of marrying a man chosen by the council. She studied media and communication, with a minor in criminology. The villagers saw her as too modern for their liking, but the chief loved her deeply. When she came home that August, she was shocked to see how broken her once vibrant village had become. "Why is no one on the street after 7 p.m., she asked. "Because the ghost roams at night," her cousin whispered. Ino laughed at first, until she saw the fear in everyone's eyes. Children had stopped playing in the moonlight. Drums no longer echoed across the hills. Even market days had become quiet. The village was slowly dying under fear. She asked questions. She listened. She noticed patterns. And she grew suspicious. "There's no such thing as a ghost that steals food and kills humans in silence," she said. "This is someone real. Someone who knows this village. Someone who thinks no one can stop them." Her father, the chief, begged her not to dig further. "Please, Ino. I don't want to lose you. Don't involve yourself." But Ino had already made up her mind. Ino hid a camera in the open hut beside the shrine. She stayed awake for 2 nights, watching shadows move in the distance but never coming close. On the 3rd night, she took her phone and quietly followed the direction where animals had gone missing in the past. She climbed a mango tree behind Mama Kekeli's house and waited. Then she saw it. A figure emerged from the shadows, tall, hooded, moving like smoke, yet real. He carried a sack and moved toward the barn. She turned on her phone camera. He walked quietly, carefully opening the barn, and pulled out a large goat. The animal didn't make a sound. It was as if it had been drugged. Then, as the figure turned, Ino zoomed in. Her blood froze. It wasn't a ghost. It was a man, wearing white chalk on his face and a black cloth around his head like a masquerade. His eyes looked alive, cruel, and cunning. On his belt, a machete gleamed. She filmed everything: his walk, the barn, the animal, and most importantly, his face. E.W.T didn't sleep that night. She waited until dawn and showed the video to her father. The chief's eyes widened in horror. That is. E.W.T nodded. Yes. Do you know him? The chief hesitated. He was once part of the palace guard. He was dismissed years ago for theft and sacrilege. His name is Kobi. What happened to him? We banished him. We thought he had died in the forest. But it seems he never left. E.W.T didn't stop there. She went into the forest, following the trail she had seen Kobi take. With her phone in hand and her voice recorder on, she documented everything. She found a hidden cave surrounded by branches. Inside, she discovered something worse than nightmares. Old bones. Pieces of jewelry. Half-burnt clothes. Torn ID cards. Pots of dried blood. And sacks of stolen food, oil, and spice. Cooking utensils. And a blood-stained apron. Kobi had not only been killing people, he had been cooking them and feeding the village. That was why the meat had always been so rich. That was why he struck every market week, so he could hide the meat among the communal meals. E.W.T returned to the palace and made the video public. She called a village meeting and played the footage on a screen she had borrowed from her uncle in the city. The entire village gasped. Women screamed. Men cursed. Old people wailed. Some fainted. No wonder my son never returned, cried Mama Yo. My daughter too. You told me she ran away. Another shouted. I ate my own brother, someone whispered in tears. The horror was beyond words. The chief, shaking with fury and grief, ordered the palace guards to search the forest and capture Kobi. But Kobi didn't run. He walked into the village square the next day, dressed in a bloody robe, smiling like a madman. Yes, he said. I fed you all. You called me a thief, so I made you thieves of flesh. You abandoned me, banished me, left me to rot in the forest. I only gave you what you deserved. The villagers beat him until the guards dragged him away. The village council held a long meeting. Many wanted Kobi executed instantly. But E.W.T, though furious, had a different idea. Let him live, she said. But let him suffer. They agreed. Kobi was sentenced to life in a deep pit, built in the heart of the village. Watch out for part 2.